All right. I mean, there it is. The endgame has ended. It is over. All right, we're going to do a really quick stream here today, maybe around 30 minutes, maybe even less. I just want to say congratulations to Go On Board for an amazing campaign for The Witcher Legacy. $10.4 million raised, and 1.5 of that was during the 7-day, 6 hours, 21 minutes. All that information will probably be updated in the graphic. We're in update number 36. But yes, congratulations to the Go On Board team, to the CD Projekt Red team, to the teams that came together to make this an amazing product, an amazing campaign. The Witcher Legacy coming in 2027, mid-2027. And to the community that kept the endgame going for over a week. A week-long endgame was impressive. That was such a proud moment to see that campaign's endgame just kept going, and they kept giving and giving. But we're going to go through a couple of things here. Thank you so much, for joining me here for a very quick stream. Put a capstone on the live campaign that was extended for 1 week for the Witcher Legacy game by Go On Board, and really happy to have been a part of the entire thing. And I am gonna do my best to keep it under 30 minutes, so let's try to jump into it relatively quickly. Let me get my studio ready to go. Let's go to share. I am gonna have, as is normally, Geralt sitting over there, and that's primarily to have some background music, but you'll see him meditating because he's worked very hard. He's worked very hard. Just consider him as one of the Go On Board employees, the CD Projekt Red team that helped collaborate to make this game what it is, and just consider them taking a well-deserved rest. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit on the game. Hopefully that'll help, because I think when I was watching the videos, it sounded like that music was just a little bit too loud. But again, he'll be there. I'm going to bring it to be kind of under the net this time, so I'll bring it there so that you can see more of the page, but it'll be in the background. Let me get a drink of my tea. Yeah, we're in the holidays. This will actually be the last stream that I do for 2026. I might do one, right next to the end of the year, but this will be the last one I do for the board game coverage. I can't say it enough. Such a proud member of the community. All right, so let's go through. So update 35 was the last update. Comments capped at around 35,000, 34,000 before the end of the campaign. Let's jump into the comment section and just say hi to the community. Let's see what we're doing. Let me put this. I'm gonna try to put this stuff at the top as best as I can. I don't have my second screen here. Merry Christmas to the whole community. Yes, happy holidays to him, Chiron. Congrats to everybody who helped fund this game. Glad to see it. Merry Christmas to everyone. Probably gonna say what? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So the campaign is finished, but I haven't been charged yet. Yeah, that rotation Dungeon Keeper 82, I'm sure, like Freddy's on top of it. Payments are still being processed. There are a lot of them, so that'll come over time. Yeah, just they're going to charge people in sort of a wave that will either end today, tomorrow, but they will charge you. What a crazy ride! Let's skip over anyone if we can. Great, crazy campaign. Vesemir can be proud of so many Witchers volunteering for this great project. I like that. What a crazy ride, guys, and what a record. Sorry to see that it ended, but what an accomplishment we've made. Congrats to all, and thanks for being such a great team of Witchers. May you all have a great holiday season. The Explorer, backer number 1, has spoken. All give ears to the Explorer. Wow, that was a great ride. Sad to see it end, but it will also be nice to not be checking back every day. Thank you to all the thousands of backers who made the endgame a ton of fun. Now that endgame is finally concluded, when should I expect payment to be taken? Very soon. Answering the questions. Good job. Good job. Congrats. How do I add the sleeves for my all-in? It wasn't available at the moment. It was available at the time, but you'll have an opportunity to add it in the Pledge Manager, no issues. At last, what an exciting campaign. Merry Christmas to all the Witchers. Happy holidays. How long did the endgame go for? 7 days, 6 hours, 24 minutes, I believe it was. Yeah, so let me see. I might actually here. How long did it go for? What was the last paste that I had? No, I don't have it. And doesn't have a. Yeah, I don't have anything in the copy. Yeah, it was just over 7 hours. Below. Sorry, it was just below 7 days, 7 hours, I believe. Wanted to get to the end game badge, but waited for a moment that the timer would hit lower than 3 minutes. Now, yeah, well. That's what you get. That's what you do. I'm not sure. This will keep going. So it was 7 days, 6 hours, 21 minutes. Apparently ended at 4:21 CET this morning. It did make it to Christmas, at least in the old world. That is very good, Benjamin. Christmas, yeah. Just the community was extremely powerful, and it was nothing but positivity at the end. Drowning out the naysayers. Yeah, so let's jump over here to the project again. We're going to get update 36 at some point next year, early next year, mid-January maybe. Give the now it says 29,994 backers, but there's definitely backers in there that are commenting that their backer number is above 30,000. Yeah. 4-minute goal reached. I think they were within 1 million within that 4 minutes. It was very fast. Well, I guess you could say that it reached its goal, and then just kind of surpassed it before that 5 minute. But gosh, let's go over to some of the rewards. Let's look at some of the things that people were backing it. Again, I've made 3 other videos on this, so I don't want to rehash too much. I probably will anyway. But you can see, let me check. I don't have my second screen over here, so I'm going to have to go back and look at chat. Let's give it an opportunity. Alright, so people were able to back the all-in at 359. The Witcher Legacy Core Pledge, that's without the monster miniatures and without the journal. So the deluxe brings in miniatures for all the monsters and this journal that you're allowed to slide your story cards in, and monster trophies now that they've added that to see what your legacy was. A nice memento at the end of the game. Shaded options for everybody's pledge if that's something that you want to add. The gameplay all in, so you're not getting all the cosmetic stuff like the playmat, the extra dice, the alchemy book, and then there's some tokens that upgrade the cardboard tokens. So a shaded gameplay all in, shaded all in, and then you've got your 3 expansions, and then the what would we call the in-game backer pin was only available in the in-game, so if you didn't get that or didn't come back for the in-game and participate, which I guarantee a good majority of people were participating. The trophy cards come as part of the all-in bundle. Faux leather cover, that's just to make your cover look really cool. I didn't see this, you could actually shade just your Witcher Legacy Old World Monster Pack to make it, if you just want the monsters and don't want to back the entirety of the Legacy campaign. Okay, so those are the additions. Now, I don't see the Alchemy Pack. For some reason, is there? There it is. Sorry. Click on this right here. Should just slide over. Well, okay. Maybe if I zoom out there. There it is. Alright, so the coins, the dice set, the playmat, the alchemy set, and card sleeves. Card sleeves weren't part of any of the all-ins. That was an additional add-on because they put things that were part of the game and then the protection of the game was part of the. Again, card sleeves for the all-in. It doesn't come as part of the all-in. Yeah, that was so much good stuff. So much good stuff. The Gorgon should be everybody that followed before the campaign started or backed within the first 48 hours. They extended it to that 48 hours. Updates. The last update was the app, showing everybody that they are listening about what the community wants. And they are most likely going to add in an art book. Lucas talked about the possibilities of adding some extra things into the pledge manager, so if you're curious what may continue to be available, the pledge manager will open up. Everybody that goes in starts to finalize their pledge, putting in their shipping address, all that jazz, adding things that they want to. There may be additional things, and one of the things that Lucas mentioned was the possibility, not guaranteed, but if they can make it work into their plans, then the art book will be available. So come back and check to see if that's something that you want to add. Everybody's going to have to come back and finalize their shipping once they get closer to that. And I feel that the pledge manager will be open at least 6 months from now. Now, when they open it is another thing. So I would say mid-2026, you're probably pretty comfortable with being able to come back. Again, this is not official. I have no information. Nobody knows any more than I do because it's all been provided the same way to everyone. But I would say that, look at Cyberpunk 2077, which finished funding in September of 2024, and that pledge manager is still available. So again, they may have it available to you, so keep your eyes out to see if you want to add anything else. They could add other, cosmetic add-ons as well. I don't think that they're going to do any gameplay add-ons. So one of the final things that I think would be considered the top on everybody's wanted list was making old world monsters that didn't already make it into Legacy and bringing them forward. So forward compatibility for Witcher old world monsters into the Witcher Legacy. But that's gameplay content, and I don't know if that's something that Go On Board is going to do. I wouldn't put it past them though. I could see for some members of the community that would be like, wait, I didn't know that was there, I wasn't able to come back and get it, and that's gameplay specific stuff. But you could really say that for a lot of stuff that people miss out on, and they create a fear within themselves that makes them feel like they've missed out, so they call that fear of missing out, FOMO. So I hope that whatever they offer, even if they don't offer it, I'm fine with that. There is so much that was made available for The Witcher Legacy. It's going to be, I can foresee it being my #1 board game. For a story narrative, like I haven't gotten a hold of, and I am a big fan of Cyberpunk 2077. It's my favorite video game of all time. I will say that on end. And when Cyberpunk Orion comes, we'll see. But I could see that one taking the mantle. But that entire series is going to be canonically connected anyway, so I'll go back and play Cyberpunk 2077, then go play Cyberpunk Orion, whatever they change the codename into. But for board games, Cyberpunk 2077, the board game also by Go On Board, is scheduled, selected, still on schedule to be delivered for mid-2026, so summer 2026 it should be good with that. I'm going to be setting up a recording studio downstairs to start recording board game play, and hopefully work my way up to being better at that. I'd like to even go up to college and take some film school to prepare myself for just doing stuff for fun. It's all for fun now. That's all I have left, is just doing things for fun. So the narrative application was the last update, update 35. Ash and dust, I tell you, and it'll be the same everywhere. With the truth about those monsters out in the world and writing, people will finally see things clearly and wipe out the Witcher plague. Not just for Kedwin, but the whole world. We are trying to protect the Witchers. But yeah, this is the Progem that the newest book from Sapkowski kind of covers a little bit of that story. I am going back through the books in audiobook and also physical. I've been collecting a lot more Witcher bestiary, or I've been collecting the world of kind of Witcher stuff, so I can become more and more familiar with the world. I am most familiar with Cyberpunk 2077. Witcher is going to become that. I've said before in the past that I've played all the Witcher games, just haven't finished any of the Witcher games. Alright, so let's jump back over. Sorry, I'm rambling again. I said I wasn't going to make this more than 30 minutes. And again, I can't say it enough. Congratulations to the team. I don't know if that has popped out. Let me go back over here. Okay, so it's still there. Yeah, 86 stretch goals, guys. 86 stretch goals. I believe ended at 89. We'll see if that's updated. I've counted 89, so we didn't quite reach to 90. But when I say we didn't quite reach, imagine what we have accomplished. Imagine what Go On Board and its community have accomplished in those stretch goals. And that is a massive amount of content added for free to everyone's pledge that pledged at least a core. And it's so much to look forward to playing. Just the core box is quite a lot. But it's certainly of value, and everybody's perception of value is different. I've said that multiple times, so it's okay if it wasn't something for you to go all in on. But again, that's what the pledge manager is for. That's what makes stretch pay so good, to make that not feel as big of an impact. Yeah, I can't get enough of the amount of stuff they dropped. Geralt, Yennefer, and Vesemir. Yeah. What else we got? Let's scroll down here. Become a Witcher. Track down and hunt those responsible for the events that nearly destroyed the School of the Wolf. Avenge your fallen brothers, and make sure the legacy of the Witchers is never forgotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it was 8 to 9 scenarios in the base core set, and they've since gotten up to 16, including the 3 primary expansions that they. This number down here, every time I scroll over to this number, it's more than 100 hours. It's more than 34 hours for the main story campaign, and just depending on how you tackle it, if you have a group of 4 that are playing it, you'll get more than 100 hours. And if you're playing it solo and you play as each individual Witcher and then you reset everything, which you can because it is not an irreversible legacy game, it is a reversible legacy game. And if you want to keep everything legacy, you can. You don't have to go and reset everything. You can keep everything as is chosen and then go endlessly into the end game with your leveled up Witcher. But then if you do the solo, you can do the solo 4 times. And if you do the solo 4 times, then that's 500, 1500, depending on how many times you play through it and try to complete everything and find everything. Whew. Game Brigade, I kind of looked at this a little bit yesterday. Game Brigade said, I absolutely love it. When you are able to pull off these powerful moves, you feel like a true battle-hardened Witcher. The brothers Murph say, we're not usually into story-driven games, but The Witcher Legacy completely pulled us in. I wasn't much into deck-building games, but this isn't just a deck-building game. It has a deck-building mechanic, but its deck-building mechanic made me love deck-building games, so I salute The Witcher Old World for making me enjoy that mechanic. And again, that's a mechanic that helps the players interact with the world, so it's not a deck-building only game. I could easily lose myself in The Witcher Legacy. I love legacy games, and this one is done very well, from Professor Meg. And Man vs. Meeple says, if you like The Witcher, or you are looking for a good adventure, this one is for you. Alright, so there's some of the pledges. Again, all this stuff is locked right now. It'll open up again during the Pledge Manager, which could open, I'd say, within a month. So they want to start getting in more backers and also allowing people to kind of finalize everything. So 89 stretch goals is what it's saying. I feel like there was 90 plus, but this is only what they could update with. We extended it to 7 days. And this is the last one that unlocked, and it unlocked, what day did this one unlock? I don't know if they posted down here. Let's see, let's go back up. So this just ended yesterday, and update 35 dropped on the 21st. It is the 24th. So by the time this dropped on the 21st, and if we go over to the project page, so it ended on the 21st. We're on Christmas Eve here in the United States. 21st is when the app dropped. Sorry, let me scroll through this. All right, so this was 89. This is 89 stretch goal. And if it ended on the 21st and it's the 24th, we extended this by an extra 3 days. So we may get 92 stretch goals. So we should get 3 more of these, 2 or 3 more of these. If I think of how the days, I would say 2 to 3 more of these, so we could go into the 90s. We're going to go into the 90s. I think we get at least 1 more of these, so I'm going to say 2 to 3 more of these in-game notice board, which are what they were unlocking, 1 each day that the in-game was extended by. But then they threw in the ultimate stretch goal, which is the narrative app. We're also going to get the Alp, which was another monster that they added to. It's just, again, the primary reason for the end game was to keep the door open for everybody to come in and back. It wasn't to continue to add content. I don't know if every game project does that, or if they just add things before the end game starts, or as the end game starts, so that you can add stuff in there. But yeah, it was just a non-stop roll of content. Now they took their weekend, so while Go On Board staff had their weekend time off, which was well deserved, the stuff kept rolling, and then they would update us after the end of the weekend. Whew! Alright. I know I yap. I know I yap. I'm going to compile a lot of the information that I'm kind of sharing here and get a little bit more informed. I want to be there for when the late backers jump in. I'll get back into the comments, just like the rest of the community will that enjoys helping the community. And we'll kind of offer any answers to questions that new backers might have. But I've already gone through and I've compiled all of the updates. So right now, I can search the entirety of the updates for specific topics. But also, for me, that allows a little bit of manipulation of all the information to compile it together. So when you have a question about a specific thing, I'll compile it all into one, so it's all readable there. I guess I could show that. Nah. I'll do that another time, maybe. Alright, so tons and tons of stretch goals. 89 of them. You can look at another video. I go through these a little bit slower, a lot slower, talk about each one of them. But what I will probably make videos of in the future are each one of these expansions and kind of talk to them, see what the community says about them. I might even go through and create sort of maybe, let's see how this might work with The Witcher Old World. The monsters themselves, try to grab as much information as I can from the images and say, all right, let's say this particular monster was in the game right now. We'll proxy in a monster that's close, and let's see what this battle might be like. Again, they haven't shown all the information, and obviously they probably want to keep that as a secret so people can be surprised by stuff. Don't want everything spoiled, especially the stories. Alright. I think did I get out of the project page? No, I'm still on the project page. What makes this game unique? Become a witcher, hunt deadly beasts, master powerful skills, and prove yourself in a world where monsters aren't the only danger. An epic campaign. Journey through a living story filled with moral choices, deep mysteries, and moments that will stay with you long after the game. So what I want to do is go in, maybe I'll spoil myself, but I'm not really spoiled in the way that people feel spoiled. So if I told you the ending of the Game of Thrones series, I was spoiled by that. but it didn't bother me. It helps me knowing the ending of something to then focus on everything that came in between. Now, would it have been nice not to have been spoiled? Yes, but I don't take offense to anybody spoiling, and I know if I'm ever going to be going into a particular project, or if I'm watching a video, somebody playing a game that I'm curious about, like, is this for me? I'm going to be spoiled on things just watching it. So reading even some of this, you're going to be spoiled. So I'm only going to read the content that they provide. I will try not to read into it any deeper. Like, even if I read into every bit of information that they gave me, it's not going to spoil the game for me in any way, because there's so much content that, you know, I'll make specific choices for my game. But that's what character development is going to be really great. I really enjoy, to this day, go on boards The Witcher Old World, and this just adds so many layers to the narrative, and they've really knocked it out of the park for this game for me. I really love the combo system for the cards, the deck building mechanic to help in combat. Premium quality components, experience the world of The Witcher brought to life with stunning miniatures. Talk about the deluxe. The miniatures and the journal is the primary difference in the deluxe edition. Bring justice. Let's actually read this. The Witcher Legacy. In The Witcher Legacy, we explore a time in history that altered the fate of the Witchers of Kaer Morhen. The impact of these events can be felt even during the tales of Geralt of Rivia, and you will forge your place in history. Kaer Morhen has been attacked. Your brothers have died. You are among a few survivors. Find clues and uncover the mystery. Bring justice. Protect your legacy. So it says here 700 number of pages of campaign text for the main campaign. But on top of that, there's side quests. There's the expansions. So that page number has got to be above 900 now. Yeah, they've been developing this for a while. It's not in its infancy. It is probably a teenager by now, and it will become a mature adult and a grizzled ancient by the time it reaches our doorstep. And when I say grizzled ancient, I mean a polished, hardened game package. Protect yourself, no one else will. Yeah, I like how in the Witcher Old World you were able to level up your particular attributes, and every player, every character had a special ability over here on the right, and then these markers would level up based on how you moved around the map and took actions there. This one, I really like the way they've made each of the slots here the shape of the piece that you're moving up. Now, what I could see with this is in the Witcher Old World, they were just square pieces, the majority of them. So they would go in 4 different ways, really. You didn't have to adjust it. With this one, the only one I see where people may have to like manipulate it a little bit more. Everything else looks like it has 4 sides or more, so just a slight turn. The blue one here is probably the only one where people are like, hold on, let me adjust it. And again, this is milliseconds or seconds, so it won't bother me, but I can see the only thing that people might be trying to slide it up there, and then it doesn't. I don't know. That's a stupid. Sorry, that's a stupid. It's not even a complaint, but it's like, well, I can maybe see that. But I do, me personally, I can see people making complaints on that, but I do enjoy that they've changed these shapes to be the shape of the actual piece. The only different shaped piece in the Witcher Old World was the shield level, so it was shaped like a shield. All the other ones were square blocks. Square cubes. I actually upgraded all of my markers for my Witcher Old World through Etsy creators. Yeah, but I want to go in and really dive deep into stuff that's written on the cards. And okay, so I know that this particular character has this ability. It would have been cool to see a metal coin of these right here. So I think this is just saying, hey, I've activated this particular skill set, so I can't use it again this turn. I think. I don't know if it's a turn marker. I believe this is to tell us when we've used this this ability. But these turned into metal would have been cool too. All right, let me check. We're probably at the 30 minutes here. I wanted to cover a couple of extra things. And I want to jump in here. I want to compile everything so that I can come back and say, all right, this is what this is for. Let's talk about how the game is played. I'm going to watch all the gameplay videos again. For the most part, I could take somebody through and say, hey, here's how the game plays. This is the differences between Old World and Legacy and what it's doing with the deck building system. But I need to, again, nobody has access to the rule book. The rule book itself is primarily just something that was made available in the game itself when it arrives. Sometimes Go On Board do share the rule books that are a work in progress. Normally I would say they do not share their rulebook because it's a work in progress, and taking everybody's inputs and making that part of the rulebook because it's a work in progress, so much input is coming in. That might be a reason why they don't. It's like, listen, if we gave you a work in progress rulebook, it would just be a bunch of text, and then we'd get complaints about, like, why isn't this rulebook look polished? I think it's because it's moving so fast. It would never be up to date, and they'd get a flood of conversations about, what it isn't. So, welcome in, Erotic Stud Muffin. Thank you so much. This is a very, very quick stream. Just wanted to cover the resounding success of The Witcher Legacy. Thank you so much for stopping in. Merry Christmas Eve. Yes, it is. This will be the last stream before the holidays begin. I might squeeze in one more stream after Christmas and just before the New Year. But this will be the last stream for me covering The Witcher Legacy for 2026. I'll continue to cover some of the stuff that's updated and changed over time, and I'd really like to dive deep in this. This will also help prepare me for when I start streaming the physical board games. Is this a YouTube-only stream privilege? Awesome, all good, and enjoy your holidays. Is this a YouTube-only stream privilege? YouTube-only stream privilege? What do you mean by that? I'm a you noob. Yeah, you as well, my friend. Have a wonderful holiday. Yeah, but this is primarily just me covering this board game that ended yesterday. Its endgame went for a whole week. The game was extended by people constantly adding new pledges. Oh yeah, sorry. This way it's immediately on YouTube, and I don't have to export it from Twitch, and it's just available right away. But I might do a couple of these on Twitch. I kind of go back and forth. I think live gaming on Twitch is better than YouTube, but YouTube's great for this kind of thing. They both have their goods and bads. So let's see. Let's do a couple of more screen rolls here. We'll get this closed out so everybody can move on to their holidays. I do also need to memorize all their names. I haven't memorized all the Witcher's names yet. But they each have their asymmetrical abilities, and then how the player themselves level that character up. And again, this is, for the majority, this is not something new to anybody. Most of the people that have backed this understand what they're getting into. These action card modifiers, again, I have never been a big fan of legacy games to where you destroy components. When I played Risk Legacy and watching other people tear up components and ride all over them, it's like, so I can't play this game again? Well, yeah, you can if you buy a reset pack. And I was like, oh, okay, well then that means I can replay it. Oh no, it's almost a full price, the full cost of the game for the reset components. So this game, I'm glad that they didn't make it an irreversible legacy game. You're not destroying any components, and any sticker that you put on uses an air suction technology to where you can reuse those stickers over and over and over again. Because I will be playing this game over and over and over again. I'll definitely be doing it solo. I want to see what that solo experience is like. It lends itself very well to solo game, but again, that's primarily Witcher Old World, which I didn't get a ton of like complaints of people enjoying the solo mode, and it helps me also to buy a game that has a solo mode to allow me to continue to play games if my group isn't going to play this game every day. But yeah, it's quite a good scaling game, so you can play it solo and then go into playing 2-player, and then it plays great with multiple players. For the year 2026, you could try co-streaming. Yeah, they both have their pros and cons. Yeah, I think that might be something to try, because I know that my friend Erotic Studmuffin here, who's in the chat, and you know what, I need to display my chat. That would probably be really cool if I did that, I should do that. And we'll close it out with a chat box up here. Alright, so let me go into YouTube real quick. That way we can get a chat box up here. I don't know why that wasn't displaying. Sometimes I feel like the YouTube Studio scenes that I set up and things that I add to it somehow stop working, and then I have to like re-engage them and start and like re-add them because they don't find, like, I know I have to pop out the chat box, but we'll see. Give me a uno momento. Alright, so there's all of that. Let's go back over to here. Let's go to here, go to there. Alright, there's the YouTube channel. Alright, let's go over to there and to there. And let's add a scene to there. Let's add a window capture. Let's call this chatty, because I can't call it chat because some other scene somewhere else has it available. Bam to there. Bam, 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 bam. Valdi chat. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, wham, bam, 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 bam. Wham, bam, bam. Let's put it up here. Alright, so top chat, I need to make that live chat. Live chat. I don't know. That should be alright. That should be okay. Yeah, potion brewing is something that's, now that we use resources, we gather resources, we can start brewing potions as well. That'll be a cool little thing. That'll be a cool little thing. They even have a alchemy set to where you can have a potion book to where all your learned potions can go in there, and you can thematically and immersively sit at the table and open up your potion book. It's like, that's how I need to make it. Yeah, it's gonna be so nice on the table. So nice. So nice. Alright guys, I'm not going to go through all of this today. You can watch so many videos out there a la carte, and you can get a really strong feel for what the game offers. So again, thank you all so much for watching this one. I know it's a little bit shorter than usual. I'll be making more next year. I'd like to also start doing board game, like physical board game stream videos or edited videos or content, and start creating a lot more. I'm going to start with go on boards content, and maybe I'll flesh out into a lot more, but I'd like to get back into that, actually creating and editing. I do enjoy that quite a bit. Before we close out, let's get the banner up here that shows you where the game ended up for project funded. Yeah, quite an amazing achievement. I mean, look at that number. Look at that number and just be totally impressed. So again, if it's something that you yourself, if you haven't been able to back it, you're like, oh, I missed out on it. No, you didn't. You didn't miss out. You can jump into the late pledge manager when it becomes available, probably within January, I'd say, maybe February. And then when it's unlocked, it'll be available and open for a while, but they'll let everybody know probably within a month before the pledge manager closes. So if you're unable to get in on this amazing game, then you yourself have an opportunity to jump in. You may miss out on some of the exclusive pricing and exclusive content that was available and given to players for free. You might miss out on a couple other cosmetic stuff, but the game will be available to you. So make sure you keep your eyes opened over on GameFound for the Witcher Legacy the Witcher Legacy game, which is a product, and then get yours. All right, guys, thanks so much. You brought up the chat for like 2 seconds in the end. Yeah, because now we have your chat captured. You were there. I just wanted to get it ready for the future. People are gonna be like, wait, what did she say? What did erotic stud muffin? What did erotic stud? Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. That way, in the future, if I ever have that on there, then I've got my chat box ready. You had it up for 2 seconds, and then it was gone. All right. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I hope to see you guys next year. Have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, celebrate with friends and family, game, and smile into the new year, and have a good 2026. If I don't see you until then, have a good life. All right,